skate ski. She's mounted at 0. They put a little window pane here. On the ski, there's this binding opens, and then you can move all the way back to -3, is as far back as you can ski, and then you can go all the way up to +3, and then we can kind of lock that binding in, and then it's set there, and then she can ski on it. So skate skis, the farther back you ski with the bindings, the negative numbers, you pull percentage load out of the front of the ski, so then they climb uphill easier, right? So because then at 50-50, it might not be 60-40, it might be 62-38, and so you're going to end up with less percentage load in the front of the skis, and so you're going to get more of that bar soap feel. So when you kind of lean on the skis on the uphill, they climb up the hill even easier.
So what do you give up for that?
Yeah, exactly.
Stability?
It's generally you don't get to eat your cake and eat it too. So that's what I'm going to mention. Like, generally when I'm doing design work, engineering, there's generally some trade-offs. So we're going to do something has got to give. It's
right.
It's our politicians wouldn't have you believe that. but yeah, when you're skiing forward on the binding, what you get is more stability because you have more load in the front of the ski, and you actually get usually higher top and tuck speeds the farther forward on the camber you go a little bit. So so generally when you go really far back, sometimes you'll get a higher spike in contact pressure in the tail. So yeah, they feel really good when you're like just standing there and just start to ski a little bit, because most master skiers that I know are really addicted to that release on the ski, the really easy release, because their legs probably feel like how my legs start to feel now, which is like tired. Yeah. like I did some roller ski intervals the other day, and my legs, I'm like, holy crap, like they're tired, like I'm sore through here and like in here and over here. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was gonna like work out today, and I tried, but it didn't last very long. I'm like, my legs are shot. So most master skiers love the way you just kind of set that ski down, and it's kind of like a free lunch. It's just like, oh, it just like nukes away from you really easily. Generally, when you go really far back with the bindings, they do that, but you give up stability, so then at speed, the ski starts to chatter around a little bit more, and then you also generally get a little bit higher hinging point in the back of the ski sometimes. So most skate skis that I've tested, like, you usually find kind of the sweet spot, and you kind of leave it there. Some people do adjust back a little bit if it's a really hilly or a really soft course, because it's snowing a bunch. I usually just test by feel to kind of figure out where I like to ski it. Some people have really bad ski feel, so then they'll take their ski, and I tell them to go to Elm Creek or someplace with like a 1K loop that has an uphill, has a downhill, maybe a turn or two. Time yourself, set every position, at an equal heart rate, and then do a multiple loops of that, so you test it. Most ski, I just know where skis work. Like, this ski probably is not going to work at +2 or +3, so we're not even going to try that. Could work at 1. 0 is probably a good bet. -1 is really popular. -2 is start to load up the tail a little bit. So maybe those 4 positions, I would say, hey Kim, go ski on those 4 positions and try it. And she might know just like, oh, this feels the best for me, and I'm just going to ski here. Or she might say, I can't tell, they all feel good. Well, then go do some testing and ski some loops at every position, and then so you test 0, 1, -2, and then do it again, and then do it again, and maybe do it again, and then you average all of your 0 loops and average all your -1 loops and average all your -2 loops and see if you learn anything. If they're all about the same, well, then the ski's probably pretty load agnostic, and it doesn't matter. Some skis you'll see a big difference, some you won't see much at all. It's different forever, because I used to tell people like, you need to ski this spot or whatever, because I tested it here, but then I forget that all the skiers out there don't ski like me, and I try to ski like Andy Newell, so my body position is really forward, I'm really on the ball of the foot, and I've got this good, but I've realized that, some skiers ski like my dad, who's like this, and that's 2 different load points, so my dad, I can push him, really far forward, because he's sitting so far back to get in the same load spot on the ski as me. So I might be able to ski this at -2. Well, my dad, to get in the same loading spot, he might be at +2. So I've kind of seen a little bit of correlation for the older customers. Like, the older you get, you lose a little bit of your reaction time. So you're generally sitting farther and farther and farther back as you age a little bit. Like, just